Hey guys, what's up? It is D-Mart on a Wednesday. So just hitting a few things before we get started. Number one, where y'all at on YouTube, guys? Come on now. We put out the challenge last week about, hey man, we need to like the page and we need to follow. And you know what? We hadn't had that many people. It's really disappointing. We did go up, but we only went up 2. So, we won't be doing anything crazy. But we're going to put out another challenge later this week. We'll put that out for y'all to do. So, before I start into the lesson for this week, I wanted to kind of do a little fun little thing. If you've got siblings or around, or you're watching with your family around, we're gonna play a little game called This or That. And I love this game. It's one of my favorite games to play because it makes you think and lets you see who likes this, who likes that. So we're gonna start with this, and then we'll move into the lesson here in a minute. After each one, if you want to pause it and be like, all right, this go this way, that go that way, or raise the hand, whatever you want to do. I just encourage you to play along because it is fun to do this. You can go online and find a whole bunch of this or that quiz things that y'all can play while y'all are bored. So my first this or that, and if actually comment down in the comments. I want to see y'all's comments. Talk to us. Let us know what y'all are hearing, what y'all are thinking, okay? So, if you want to answer these in the comments, do it so we can see your this or that. So, my first this or that. Dr. Pepper, my favorite, or Coke. That's a good one. Like I said, I'm a Dr. Pepper person. If you've ever seen me carrying my drinks, it's always Dr. Pepper. So I love me some Dr. Pepper. Alright, so Dr. Pepper, Coke. Take a chance to... Alright, second one. Plain or peanut M&Ms. That's a good one, right? I love me some plain M&Ms. I'm not a big fan of peanut. I do love peanut butter M&Ms, which I have a whole bag at home. Oh, I love those so much. But, alright, so plain M&Ms or peanut M&Ms. Alright, third one, okay. Comedy movies or action movies. Comedy movies or action movies. I'm a comedy guy myself. If you can't tell, I love comedies, but I do watch some action, but it's more comedy. Alright, so comedy or action movies. Here comes J Money up in the house, his house. Alright, so why are you wearing... He looks like he's going to rob me right now.
What up, guy?
Oh my gosh. We're playing a little this or that. Start the video out. So my first one was Dr. Pepper or Coke. Which one would you choose?
Huh?
Dr. Pepper or Coke?
Coke all the way, homeboy.
See, now it's all about Dr. Pepper.
What?
My second one, alright? You ready for this? Plain versus peanut.
Peanut.
Plain M&M's all the way, bro. Though, if it's peanut butter, I'll eat it more. What? Alright. Comedy or action movies?
It depends on the actor.
That's a good point. But I said comedy. I lean towards the comedy side.
I think, yeah.
Alright, so let's do one more. I told them they need to comment in the comment section. Tell them. Comment in the comment section.
Comment in the comment section, homeboy.
Come on. Let's do it.
Do it.
Alright. iPhone or Android? iPhone. And here comes J-Mo with his little garbage Android up in here.
Galaxy,
it's all about that iPhone.
Galaxy, homeboy.
Alright. So, as you saw, 3 out of the 4 of these we disagreed on. And so today I'm actually talking about conflict, okay? Because you have been... He killing me. But you have been locked inside your house. And if you're like me, and you get locked inside a house with someone, it gets really old really fast. And so there's lots of conflict that comes up. And so I've actually been watching this show on Netflix about Vikings, and I love history and stuff like that. And this whole idea of these Vikings coming in, and you see this conflict of this butting of heads, and they can never get along. It's drama, dramas, they overdo it, but at the same time, they butt heads constantly, and they're constantly fighting. And I was thinking, how do we address that in our lives? How do we take that and do something? And so we're going to be out of James 4 today, and he starts out this chapter saying, what causes fights and quarrels among you? And then he goes in at these believers. James is writing to these believers, and he goes in at them, and he goes, don't they come from your desires that battle within you? You desire, but do not have, so you kill. You covet, but you cannot get what you want, so you quarrel and fight. So he's going in after these believers right here, right? And he's saying, look, you are fighting, and you know what? I know why you're fighting, but you're not doing what God has called us to do. He says, you quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask God. When you ask, you do not receive because you ask with the wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures. And he calls them adulterous people here. And so anytime we're in this mindset of we're in conflict, we're fighting with each other, there's some motive, there's some underlying cause, right? Maybe it's you're tired of being locked up, and you're frustrated because you want to go and you want to do stuff and you want to get out. We get it. We're all there. Maybe it's because someone got something that you wanted, some attention, or maybe they got a gift that you wanted or something like that, and so you're upset with them because they got what you desired. And so there's all these underlining reasons, these problems that we see. And so Paul comes out and he says, anyone who chooses to be a friend of the world becomes an enemy of God. Okay? He says, or do you think the scriptures without reason that he jealously longs for the Spirit he has caused to dwell in us, but he gives us more grace. God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. So he opposes this idea of we should fight because of these earthly reasons. Okay, we're gonna have conflicts. We're gonna have quarrels. Me and J Money, we get into it all the time about different little things that we should be doing, or that he thinks iPods or iPhones are worse than Androids, which I don't understand, or he likes Coke more than Dr. Pepper. Like it sometimes it's little stuff, but sometimes we let those things fester and we let our own desires get into these conflicts. And James is saying here, do not let those things be the reason you're having conflict. And then he goes on in verse 7 through 10, which I think is just this great set of verses. I memorized verse 7 a long time ago, and it's a great verse to remember. And it says, submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Come near to God, and he will come near to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Grieve, mourn, and wail. Change your laughter to mourning, and your joy to gloom. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and He will lift you up. And that, it kind of sounds, some of that, you grieve, mourn, and wail, like, oh, that sounds awful, right? But what he's saying here is to take those earthly desires, to take those things that are bothering you, and lay them in front of God. Resist the urge to let those things fester and destroy relationships and destroy things that friendships and family relationships that you have. But instead, lay them at the feet of God. Pray to Him that He will take those from you and humble yourself, and He will lift you up out of that. And so, when you get in the middle of conflict, the first thing you really absolutely need to do is take a step back. Just take a step back and ask yourself, why am I mad? Why am I angry? Because that's the biggest thing right there. That's the biggest hill to get over is, I don't know why I'm angry, I'm just angry. And so, as you face conflict, take a step back. Say, God, I don't know why I'm angry, please reveal it to me why I'm angry. Then you can start to address. You can go, if someone has made you angry because of something that they've done to you or something that is going on, go talk to them. Maybe you don't feel comfortable talking to them on your own. Maybe you need to go with someone. That is actually scriptural. There is a whole set of verses that talks about go and talk with them one-on-one, and if that doesn't help things, to go talk to them with another believer. And so maybe you need to bring in a parent. Maybe you need to bring in someone else to say, hey, I'm angry, and I need that buffer. I need that person to look at me and go, hey, you're being a little over the top. Calm it down a little bit. So take a step back, figure out what's wrong. If it's someone that's you're angry with, address them. If it's a situation that you're angry with, address that situation. Okay? Like I said, we are all in this situation where we are around people all the time, the same people, over and over again for days upon days upon days. There's going to be conflict that arises. Let's take these steps and then give it to God. Okay? You figured out what it is. You've talked to that person, but don't hang on to it. You got to let it go and give it to God. And He is going to help you out of that. It may not be immediate. You may still be frustrated for a few days. You may be frustrated for a few months, depending on how bad that hurt was. But give it to God and say, God, take this from me, because I don't want it to become something that separates me from you. I don't want to be your enemy, as James says. And so, your three things: do, read, pray, do. Okay? Read James 4, start in 1 and go all the way to 10. And if it takes every day you have to read that set of verses, read it. Remind yourself of, I have to give this to God. I have to give this up. Pray. Very simple. If you are in conflict, if you are struggling with conflict or anger or anything like that, pray that A, God would reveal that to you. Why? The reason behind it. B, pray that He would give you the strength to go address that situation. And number 3, pray that He would just take that pain from you and would lift you back up to a place where you can walk with Him again. And then the do. If you are in conflict, take a step back. Figure out what's going on and try to find that healing. Okay? Try to find that place where you can be reconciled with that person again. That's it. I mean, there are other situations that we could talk about. If you have any questions about conflict, any questions about anger, you're angry about something, me and Jay, we'd love to talk to y'all. We haven't really talked to y'all hardly at all. And there are some situations that are tough. We get it. We've been through life. We've seen a lot of things. And so if you're having a hard time with it, reach out. Let us know. We'll call you. We'll text you. We'll get a hold of you, and we'll talk it out. But try to remember that God is in control, and God has you through this. And not every situation is as big as sometimes we make it out to be. So I'm praying for you guys. I love you guys. I'll see you guys when this is all over, hopefully face to face. But until then, I'm praying for y'all, and I will talk to y'all later. Deuces.